What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullish. This is our second week of doing this thing that I'm going to start calling the top five stocks to watch this week. Like I said, welcome back. Your boy's still flying solo this week, but that's okay. Thanks for all the support. I hope this has helped somebody. It's definitely helped me even think a little bit harder about my week, develop my weekly game plan, and kind of assess how I'm doing at a watching trading level. So hopefully this helped somebody. But with that being said, let's jump into the stocks on watch this week. All right, jumping into it. I hope you guys can see my screen because if not, I'm fucked. But we're looking at Walmart again. I know I called it out this time last week on Sunday as something to watch. I called it out on Thursday on our midweek recap and kind of what I said. Not to like toot my own horn because toot, but also like, hey, Friday is for the bull, is for the bears, not the bulls. What I mean by that is people are looking to lock in profits. There's less trading volume. People are trying to go on holiday. They're trying to get their drink on, take the girl out. So you see a little of that profit taking. And if you would have watched this on Friday, if you look at the screen, it had this really, really solid double top. What I mean by double top, it hits this resistance level at 141.6, not once but twice. So it hits like an M almost, a reverse W, whatever the fuck, right? It hits that, it can't break it, and you see a massive sell-off right at open, right at 8:30, right at that time. Boom, it shits down. If you would have played, you could have played that two ways. You could have held it and just said, fuck it, I'm gonna live with it, or you could have sold it at that second time. That first candle that you see, when I look at pre-market, I like to look at the not the 5 minute, but the 1 minute. I want to know exactly what the fuck is going down. So if you look at this bad bitch right here, you go all the way back, you're gonna kind of see, hey, like it hits that resistance, it's pushing down, and then the minute it starts selling off, you could have sold it, right? But you know it's gonna rebound because people are just really, really trying to get that money in. So you could have played it two ways. The second way, like I said, sell at that point when you're seeing that resistance, stay abreast of where it's going to be, and then play the reversal bounce is what you can see here. So if you really break down into it, you say you sell off, boom, you're hitting a support level originally of about 138. It breaks that, it goes down a little bit lower, but then it peaks back up over the VWAP. And as you can see, it's pretty much trading at the end of the day what it was in the pre-market high. Now, that's to say, I'm just gonna say, if you're still looking at it, I think it's still one to watch. There was some exciting or not exciting news that came in on Friday, was saying that, hey, this fucking TikTok, Walmart, Microsoft deal is about to go down. It's imminent. It's in the matter of days, couple of days. Well, that got all fucking messy, right? So that's part of the thing, If you at this point, if you were getting off of that bounce off that low, you could have been up already, maybe 6 or 7% off of that low that we were watching on Sunday, right? So you could have played that two ways. You could have said, fuck it, I'm going to hold and I'm going to just try to get greedy and take more. But like I said on Thursday, like the market doesn't give a fuck about your profits. You got to give a fuck about your profits. So you got that 6 or 7, let's say, percent increase to whatever money maybe you put in on it. You got to take it every 5%. I'm looking to take my profits, scale out of my position. If you don't know what scaling out is, I definitely recommend you look it up, or I can like talk about it another time, but basically scaling out, right? Now, I do think that it's Walmart. It has a lot of good tailwinds coming, but this is going to get really messy because now you got China, you got the CCP or whatever the fuck, the China's Communist Party, yeah, CCP in on it. You got TikTok, you got Walmart, you got Microsoft. So you got a lot of different parties that are like the U.S. government trying to vie in on this, trying to put their 2 cents in. So that could extend it out. It could not even be Walmart and Microsoft. It could be Oracle or another player that's in on it. So there's a lot of risk involved with that. The easier, maybe safer play would have definitely been to take your profits on Friday. But if you're in on it now, if you're looking at it now, still want to watch. I don't think that this is going to trade sideways, meaning like just go kind of like a little bit up or down. I think it's going to be a big swing, but we'll see, just because like, hey, once this news breaks, it's going to shoot up or shoot down. We'll see how it goes, but this is still definitely one to watch on Monday and for the week and probably for the next couple weeks. Oh man, I need some of this. Oh, that's good. It's mostly ice, but still, like, it's something. The other one I want to take a look at, so we got Walmart from last week that I'm still watching. Ford is still a bad bitch to play. I still like Ford. I called out Ford last week. I called out a few of them. I called out Microsoft, or sorry, I called out Walmart. I called out Ford as one to watch. I'm trying to like look at my notes and stuff. I call Snaptix and Rocket Companies. Now the other two are definitely still ones I'm watching. They're kind of like a little bit cooler, a little bit further out. I still think there's a lot of value there, but I'm not as engaged in those. Definitely still looking at Walmart, Ford, and these other five bad bitches that I'm looking at right now. The next one is let's look at Tesla. And the reason why I want to look at Tesla is because Tesla and Apple starting tomorrow are going to be trading at their split price. What that means is that like, hey, they want more people to be able to invest in their stocks. So they gave the current shareholders, like a 4-for-1, 5-for-1 split, and they're trading at a lower price starting tomorrow. So same kind of difference though. If you chart this thing out, it's definitely some value in there. Definitely keep in mind the support and resistance levels. But if you take a step back and look at Tesla specifically at a daily level, you see a lot of volume here. You see all this volume over average. That's what this right here is indicating. This line right here is average. This is volume over average. You definitely want to see that line go up. I think overall you see that those upticks in RSI, you see that MACD starting to go up, and I think you're going to see that price kind of steadily go up. So there's still, even though it starts trading officially on Monday, I think looking at it right now, definitely take a look at it and then chart it out for yourself. Definitely, if you're not really good at charting support and resistance lines, hey, let me know. Or maybe I could talk about it a little bit more, but also it's not rocket science. It's just stock trading, right? You look at places where it tries to break and it doesn't, bounces down. Oh look, there's some support right there. Bounce off of that. Bam, there's your resistance. There's your support, and you just do it at a daily level, but then go back and do it at a year level, right? But the thing I love about Tesla is it's pretty much showed a constant trend of moving up, and that's what you want to do. Is you want to look at stocks that are definitely in an uptrend, even in a market that's an uptrend. But if you basically point kind of like we're talking about support and resistance, but look at like as a triangle, look at this right here. It's just basically going up. It's basically going up. And if these are very dirty lines, so don't really take, definitely do a little bit better. But like I'm trying to show you the uptrend in terms of like where it's going, right? And then also if we're looking at the year level, right? Day over day, you still see this MACD kind of getting bigger. And like we talked about last week, MACD is the moving average convergence divergence. So the further those two lines, the further those two lines moving apart, the stronger the trend is, the closer they are, and the convergence is a possible reversal from that trend. And then they kind of keep on going in that way. Basically, you want the blue line, or for my chart, you want that blue line over the yellow line, over kind of like that zero average, right? And the more it goes, the better the trend is. Now for this one, for looking at Tesla, even though the price is pretty much extending out, you see that MACD coming up, that RSI level is still like kind of like going down. So it's cooling off a little bit, I think, but still like it's natural because people are taking profits. They got the split. They got all these other stocks in Tesla now. Now they're trying to take some. But that makes room for other people to come in. So I definitely think that Tesla's going to want to definitely watch for this week and the next few weeks. Well, Tesla's always want to watch, but specifically since it's kind of splitting that, well, since it's split and it's like more of a value for us, a regular traders, to got to get in there and make some money off of that, or hold it for the long thing. Also, they had that whole like Elon Musk had that whole like Neuralink kind of thing on Friday where he was, I didn't see it, but like I heard about it. Same kind of difference when they're doing like SpaceX launches and shit, even though it's not like related to Tesla, it's Elon Musk. So like any of those kind of news outlets that happen, I think Friday the Neuralink test happened like Friday after hours. I think you'll see some of that like affect the price. So I think that Tesla's definitely want to watch, and that is split now. It's more accessible to everyone else. On the whole split thing, the other one I wanted to take a look at is Apple. And I really, really like looking at Apple. I was looking at this right before the show. And what I like about Apple is the same thing. Split goes into effect on Monday. There are eyes on here. There are eyes on Tesla. There's eyes on Apple because they're in the news even more than usual with the split. So I think that once you get eyes, once you get traders, that's where the money goes. That's where the trend goes. That's where you want to be, right? You don't want to be somewhere where like in an industry or in a company that no one's looking at, because you're not going to be able to make anything off of that shit. So be where people are. People are talking about Walmart. People are talking about Tesla. And I think that or Walmart, Tesla, Apple. So I think that's exactly where we want to play here. Same thing with like Apple though, since it's trading at a new price, it's going to be some fluctuations. So you have to take the current charts with a grain of salt, but still you kind of look at the prior trends. Hey, it's moving in a great direction up, it's moving up. It's moving up. Like generally, you definitely see that sell off, but you can kind of see in the numbers as well, but still like overall, it's definitely moving in the right direction. And if you really wanted to get channels and like triangles in place, you can definitely, even here, even more so, that number, like those movements, is just going up. So even at a high level, it looks really good without trying to bake into like the nitty gritty. But at the same time, that MACD, that moving average convergence divergence, is still really strong. Those two lines are going further apart, so it's showing that upward trend is still for the most part going on that same line. If we're looking at it at the 3 level mark, so maybe we want to look at it day over day. Okay, so yeah, when you look at day over day, you kind of see how these numbers are kind of getting smaller together almost. They're coming closer together. That's signifying that that trend overall at the day level is actually kind of maybe can reverse soon. So you might see some sell off for Apple pretty soon. But that's exactly what that trend here is showing, is these lines getting closer together, so that there might be a reversal coming in. And you kind of see that also because Friday was probably a sell off day. You can kind of see that price like weakening out, but still, like, that's why I say these are things to watch, not necessarily things to trade. And again, hey, I'm not telling you what to trade or how to trade. I'm just saying, hey, these are things I'm looking. This is why I'm looking at them, right? If you bust down the day over day, yeah, you definitely see that downward trend, and that's kind of, you see at the day level, but at the 5 minute level for that intraday. So in the same day, intraday, you do see that decretion in price there. Man, this would have been fun to play too, because these swings are out of the park. 124 up to 25. That's a dollar. Maybe not all that much, but still, yeah, you definitely see this overall kind of trending a little bit lower. Yeah, you had this high here. You can almost like, if you really wanted to, draw a really good one, really good like trend line going down over time. So maybe like Apple, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for it to buy off when it's shooting off. I want to get on the reversal because I want to be safest for my money, right? That's just my risk tolerance. Everybody plays it differently, but you do see Apple coming down a little bit, and I think that that's perfect time to start looking at it again. The other one I wanted to jump in was the three next ones actually. So even though I said top five, I'm doing top six. I don't give a shit. I can do what I want to do. I'm an adult. But anyways, the other one I'm looking at is specifically Honeywell. The reason I want to look at this is because there's a lot of news going on Monday. This week is going to be very interesting, for the good or for the bad also. But Honeywell, along with Amgen, and Salesforce, are moving into the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So basically, these guys are moving to the Dow, to the big leagues, and I think that that's going to cause even more shift in eyes there. And you can definitely see it in the numbers. If you take a step back and look at like I said, the year, looking back the past year, day over day trades, right? You definitely still, like we were looking at earlier, you see an uptrend, you see an uptick, you see this line going up and to the right. It's exactly what you want to see. Not even getting into the weeds, but also, and just to pivot to something that doesn't look like that. So I'm showing overall trends going up to the right. I'm not breaking you down too hard. These are just on watch. Like I said, do your own due diligence, or DD as they say. But to position that as a different company, one that doesn't have something going up and to the right, down and to the right. This is what I want to show the difference. You see, the other one had that uptrend this way. This one, Boxel, man, God, dog. This was a hurtful one. It's going down and to the right. So that's why I'm saying, like, general trends down or up. That's like the first level of things. When you take a step and look back at the trends, that's what I want to look at. But anyway, stepping back to Honeywell, just to kind of show the difference, right? I'm trying to make this super quick, so let's go quickly. So that uptrend's going out there. If you really wanted to break into it a little bit more, you see this volume over average. This is average volume at what, $3, or sorry, 3 million shares per day. On Saturday or Friday, it traded at 13 million shares. What is that? That's like 300 times the normal trading volume in one fucking day. There's so many eyes there. There's so much money to be made. But as people are buying and selling, I'm just saying there's a lot of volume there. This one's a little bit, RSI over 70, so it could have a possible reversal soon just because it's maxed out. But you can get a better idea by looking at previous ones. So yeah, about 74 is when it starts to cool off. Yeah, so it's actually, it might be something that cools off kind of soon, because it's not typically one that like Nike, who, I don't pull it up. But anyways, it doesn't trade typically higher than the RSI level of 70. Some will go like 90, 95 and still make gains. This one cools off about 70, 75, it looks like. And that's okay. That's fine. Just kind of know what the trends are before. But the great thing I like about this is this MACD just went to bullish from bearish. These red lines indicate, closer together, bearish. People are selling. It just recently, ticked over to bearish or bullish. So that bitch might be running pretty soon. And still, like I said, you see that general price trend been going up. If you want to look at this day over day chart, it's still moving in the right direction. Although it's not making like all that many gains, it's still moving the way you want it to move, in the direction you want it to move it, with the indicators the right way. You definitely see this RSI kind of topping out. The RSI, what is nice to see at the day level, looking at intraday, the RSI does look like it's a little cross, or sorry, it's a little bit more neutral, but the MACD is a little bit cooled off. So definitely watch this and then plot it out. Just come in here and say, hey, fuck, look at this shit. Look at, okay, in a day, what was it trading at yesterday? Okay, the high of yesterday was this, the low was this. Okay, cool. Now, the day before that, it was this, which is pretty close to that. So that's already telling me, hey, this resistance line is going to be really hard to beat, because not only was it a resistance line the day before, it was 2 trading days ago, that resistance line. That's going to be hard to break. But what I'd wanted to do is bounce off of that, go down to our support line, and then make all that money there. Not in the middle, like I said. Don't trade in the middle, trade at the bottom, trade at the top. And when you trade at the top, you look for a break, not a substantial, but a good break over this line. So I wouldn't buy this at 168.67, let's, or point 0.7, let's say that's the resistance. I wouldn't buy it at that. I would buy it like 0.75 or some shit like that. I want to see it not just break it, but close over it substantially. So that's another one I'm saying to watch this week, because like I said, everyone's watching this motherfucker. Another one that everyone's watching is Amgen. And I didn't actually know what the fuck these dudes were, but they're actually in the biopharma business. And if you look at the overall industry trends, biopharma is a hot motherfucker to play. The COVID play, all the plays, are biopharmas, are making that money. And this is actually, one that's in California. So, the government really loves those homegrown bios. But the same kind of difference. You see how this kind of support line here, and I'm just going to look at it. I'm looking at it exactly again, because this is one of the threes, along with Honeywell and Salesforce, that are going to be moving to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, to the big boys leagues. So everyone's going to be watching it. Same difference as we saw with Honeywell. You see this average volume. That's what people are trading on average. And this is at, fucking 13 again, like 13 million shares being traded. It's trading so much higher than its average volume, because people are doing it. People are using it. And that's exactly what you want to see. This is actually maybe a better value, because you see this MACD was a little bullish. So you see that sell off here from 264. It kind of went down to what I like about this is a double bottom here at 234. So you know what, a $30 shift in a matter of a few days, right? Or maybe in more than a few days, but still, like, it's trading in a good channel that you can really, really catch these swings. It's getting pretty close to what its high was. So maybe, wait for it to cool off or see what it does. Or that's how I would play it. But still, like, it's very channely, meaning like it definitely has some really good trends that you can follow in order to see what your high, see what your low is. But, it's definitely having a couple of bounces off of this support line. This to me is it's called it's called a double bottom, but it's basically called an eve double bottom, where these are versus an atom and atom. An atom is a very sharp bottom. A eve is a wider bottom. It's pretty sexist, right? But basically, that's what you're seeing here. And when you look at these double bottoms, I think it's something like over 60% of the time it hits your price target in terms of like what you're shooting for. Now, there's a way to calculate what your price target is. It's some stupid calculation from like the bottom to this part on top of this, So the difference of the lowest eve break to what the price break is, so that middle part where it breaks even, you add that to the top, and that's what your price is. And actually, that's my actually, when just looking at it, it might be what you're seeing here. So it could have already hit that price point, and now it's going to reverse off of that. So I would kind of watch this one for sure off of the reversal, not playing it directly, but still, like, you still really have a lot of bullish indicators here. Like this, like I said, it could be kind of maxed out here. So we'll see. If we look at the day, I'm sure it's going to kind of show like a decrease. Yeah, because you kind of see some sell-offs here, but people are really jumping in. But also people are selling because they're trying to get that profit. Not that they don't see value in the company, they're trying to get that money, get that profit that they got. When this announced, a week ago that this was going to go. Yeah, about a week ago or whatever, you see kind of that double reversal off of the bottom, and that was probably one of the catalysts. A catalyst, or like something that pushed it over to the top. So again, something to watch, right? But just jumping into the next one and the last one, it's going to be Salesforce. I fucking love Salesforce just because I'm in marketing, and fucking Salesforce is like, everyone fucking uses Salesforce. Interesting thing about Salesforce, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but fortunately, they actually had So they have a few tailwinds, right? They had earnings last week, which they demolished earnings. It was one of their best earnings that they've ever had in a quarter. The CEO literally said, it's a shame that one of their best quarters came at a time of so much strife." And I'm paraphrasing that, but basically he's saying, hey, it sucks that one of our best quarters ever happened during the time of COVID and all this social unrest and stuff, but it's the case that it happened, right? They're moving to the Dow. They have all this over average trade. Look at this. Look at this trading volume these motherfuckers have. On that day, let's say 664. What the fuck is that difference? I don't know. I don't want to do some math right now, but like it's 950 times on that day. They're over the average volume trading. So there's definitely people there. They're watching it. The thing I like about this again is that MACD on the day over day, looking at the year level, is still pushing out. It looks like it wants to come back almost. But if you really wanted to get into this, you can really see it. But from like the smell test, it's getting wider. That convergence or that divergence is getting bigger still. It looks like it wants to cool off, and you can also see this RSI coming down. So this is an example of one that likes to run hot. You see how RSI right here is 70? This bitch can run 85 or 85, no problem. And some of them just have that in them, and that's normal for that one, right? You can kind of plot that out here. Hey, like it runs hot like a motherfucker and still makes gains. Whereas the other one we're looking at, I think it was Honeywell. It doesn't do that. It's not a tech company. It's an older style industry, right? I mean, Honeywell's kind of tech, but still. Anyways, what I'm saying is like there's a lot of tailwinds. There, like I said, the earnings moving to the Dow, trading over average like a motherfucker, 950 times regular trading volume. It's in the tech sector, which tech is hot right now. It's the sector to be in right now. There's a lot of tailwinds, a lot of reasons why I like or CRM or Salesforce going into next week, and one that I really, really want to watch. It's kind of, it's pretty, well, not still. I mean, 260 to 279, a shift of $19. That's pretty good. It's still making day over day gains. The price is a little bit expensive, but there's definitely options for that. So yeah, those are the ones I wanted to go over. I'll post what the ticker symbols are, but basically, you have Walmart, you have Tesla, you have Apple, you have Honeywell, you have whatever the fuck Amgen is, AMGEN, it's a bio company. You have Salesforce. All these are ones that I'm going to watch over the week and the next couple weeks. Definitely some of them are very interesting. There's good, like I said earlier, there's good and bad about being, so much news. August is generally a pretty slow trading month. And it's, I think tomorrow's the last day in August, and then we're going to start with September. So things are going to may kick up a little bit. And there's a lot of news coming out tomorrow, which I like from a news perspective, and it's not boring. But also, if there's too much news going out, like traders don't know where to go. They go everywhere. They scatter to the wind. They put money here, there, everywhere, So there's not like a direction or a trend that you can follow as easily. So take that in consideration when you're looking at stocks for the week. I think that these, 6 are definitely ones that are going to move in a substantially in the next few months. But like I said, this is more from a swing trading perspective. Swing trading meaning like you buy in one day, you sell the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, whatever the fuck. Maybe not year, but you know what I'm saying? Whereas day trading is more intraday, buying, selling in that same day. So these are more from a day trading level, but some of these are from a swing trading level, but some of these you can look at as a day trading perspective. Like I said, that's one catalyst that I'm looking at is the whole Dow shift. I think that's going to be great. The splits are going to be great. Also, NVIDIA is an interesting one. Look at NVIDIA. They have a presentation this coming up week. I think it's like a Monday or Tuesday. Something to watch. NVIDIA is an interesting company, and they have a lot of tailwinds coming as well. They have this presentation where they might talk about a new, graphics cards and all that fancy shit. They got the new gen of like Xboxes and PlayStations coming out. So I don't exactly know what chip is in there, but things to look at, things to think about. So I want to make this pretty quick, so I'll kind of probably just leave it there, drop some show notes so we can talk about it. But I just wanted to say thanks. It's great to have like so much news going on, like I said, but at the same time, like really pick the direction you want to go to and try to listen to kind of what the news is telling you. And some of these that we're looking at, they trade for $1, $2, $3, $4, $500. Definitely kind of expensive on the most part, but there's things you can do from a new trader perspective or a limited capital perspective that we all have limited capital, right? But there's things you can do, like in Robinhood they have fractional shares. So for the price of a pair of J's or some shit or a new handbag, you can definitely get a portion of Tesla, a portion of Apple. I mean, it's instead of like throwing money, going drinking or whatever, buying rounds and shit, maybe save some of that, put it in a fractional share of Tesla, a fractional share of Apple, a fractional share of fucking Salesforce, and just sit on it for a little bit. Definitely plan it out, right? Don't do it just willy nilly. You definitely like do the best you can, but at the same time, you don't have to buy a whole share. You don't have to buy a whole 20, 30, 40 shares. I mean, that'd be great. But if you wanted to like test into it, Robin has those fractional shares where you tell them how much you want to invest in one of those bigger companies, and they'll give you the amount of or percentage of stock from that, right? So that's a really good way to kind of trying to start growing your capital. But also there's stuff like Acorns. So Acorns is a really interesting app that like it's a passive investment strategy, which is basically like what I mean by that is like, let's say you go to Starbucks and your coffee is 5.50. Well, there has an option to take that extra 50 cents to make it $6 even, and it'll invest that 50 cents for you. And it does that for all of your purchases, right? And you tell the app how much or how risk averse or how risk tolerant you are, and then it makes a portfolio for you. It's more of a passive investment platform or revenue or value or what am I trying to say? It's more of a passive revenue generator, let's say, or vehicle. That's what I was trying to think of. But it's definitely something to get into it and do something more than nothing. Definitely do something more than nothing. It's not rocket science. Like I said, it's just stocks. So take it for what you want. But I appreciate the support and the love. I wanted to double my views from last week on Sunday, and when I looked at the views on Thursday, I actually 3x'd it. So that was pretty cool. I really appreciate it. I tripled that, which I think is cool. Like I said, I mean, I'm just happy kind of doing it. Hope people get value of it. But if there's anything I can do to make it a little bit better, just let me know, and I definitely will work on it. Right. So if you want to follow us on social, definitely you can, slip into the email bullish_solo@gmail.com. If there's anything you want to see, you got the YouTube going, bullish. I'll link it somewhere, maybe Twitter. I think that's a really good one. I like Twitter right now just because it's really easy to get information and just pass it on. Shit that's happening like in the minute, in the second. If I see something super interesting to me, sometimes I won't even read it, honestly. I'll just skim it. It takes me like 4 seconds, 5 seconds to just get it from like someone sends me your news app or platform, and just send it out on Twitter and just kind of get that news out there, right? So Twitter, real_bullish. I don't know if people are on stock twits, but same difference, real_bullish. Or Twitch is what I use also to kind of record and upload for right now, and they just bullish one. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me for a little bit. So I'll see you on Thursday. Peace.